Good evening, it's Dr. Savage. I am talking tonight about creating social engagement in with your website through your own personal website. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining, David. Thank you. Thank you. Good to see you. We're talking about creating the social persona within your own website, particularly because it's really important that we point people back to our own websites. But I want to tell you a little bit about how that should be done, about what that website should look like. I think it's important because we've got a lot of questions about, hey, Dr. Bart, we got a lot of questions about websites and what they should consist of. And so I built my own website and I build websites. So I thought it would be very, very nice for me to come and share that with you. Hey, Nelson, how are you? Good to see you. Please share with your followers. Thank you. We're talking about creating websites and how we create passive engagement through our websites. So, as you already know, your website is your personal space. It's where, hello. I am really good. Thank you so much for asking. Um, as you know, your website is your personal space. That's the face of your face of your business, really. And it's really important on how you lay that out. Your business website, hey, Con Shop. I need to put some glasses. I really can't see that screen too well. A lot of people think that some people think that they don't need one, right? Because they're brick and mortar. And no matter whether you are a brick and mortar or a service professional, you really need a website or something. Whether it's a landing page or a website, depending on what the magnitude or layers of your business. What a website allows you to connect with your customers, very, very important. And you can do that very easily if you have the right pieces within your website. So we're going to review a little bit of those things because I think it's very important that you understand the areas and maybe what you should begin to pull together so that when you get ready to have a website made, you will have all of these things in place. So here we go. Another good thing about a website is it can generate income. And in case you didn't know that, it creates that passive income that could actually be residual for you to make over and over and over and over again. So that's another good reason for you to have a website, and also to promote your products and services. Whether it's you're promoting your services as a professional, plan for your website. Number one, you want to start creating content for your website, because when you get someone to actually put your website in place for you, unless you do that yourself, it's a huge learning curve, but it can be made easy if you're willing to go through the process. It can be a FYI project, do it yourself project. So, but you need to be thinking about these pieces. The first thing is you got to understand what your purpose is. Who are you? What do you do, and why are you doing it? What is the purpose of your business? Very, very important, because you have 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds to encourage your customer when they visit your site. 30 seconds to engage them, for them to decide whether they want to stay or not. Okay. And it should be very obvious. It should be very, very obvious to your visitors. As a matter of fact, it should be at the very top. If it's a question, maybe you want to ask a question about something. It should be the above the fold kind of thing. Like, what are you about, right? You may want to ask a question, because sometimes people search by questions. So if they're searching by questions, then you're going to want to put that question up there somewhere. That's an easy catch. Easy catch for a land page, easy catch for a website. Okay, then you want to ask them whether it's online or brick and mortar. It doesn't matter. People have 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Thank you for joining to decide whether they want to do business with you or not. Okay? So these are things that we are planning for your website. When you're planning for your website, these are the things that you must consider. The time. How much time do you want to spend on managing a site? That's gonna be the defining factor as to what type of website you want. Do you want it to be a self-working website, or do you want it to promote a product? Do you want a promotional website? So those are the two things that you must decide, because it's gonna determine the type of website that you have, and because a website is time consuming and it has to be managed, and static websites don't work anymore. So if you are not going for a if you're going for a self-working website, that takes a particular design. And then if you want to promote a product, then you may not want, such a detailed website if you're just promoting a product. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. The next area is going to be your customers. Who do you want to visit your site? Who do you want to visit your site? Do you know what your demographics are? Do you know what your demographics are? Whatever, in any case, you need to appeal to that to the broad demographic. Once you define what your demographic is, you need to appeal to the broader demographic, narrowing it somehow to and honing in on your core. Okay? Broaden it enough for your demographic, complete demographic, and then hone it in on your core. Okay? So I am an angel investor. So the core of my website is going to be about getting people investment ready, right? So, but I'm targeting entrepreneurs. So I have a broad site about angel investment, which will include directories and things like that, and being investment ready, along with my products that assure that you're going to be investment ready. And then, I narrow it down to, here's how I can help you to be investment ready. So that's your customer, okay? Then you want to consider who is going to host your site. Who's going to host your site, okay? If you are a beginner, you should probably look for a web host that includes templates, something easy to use. Thank you for coming back. A designer tool. You should consider a designer tool if you are a beginner. We're talking about the hosting site. Who is going to be your hosting site? When you're looking at your hosting sites, you want to see if they offer various levels, like the beginning, intermediate, and advanced level functionalities for design. Because you have some that offer this whole technical thing where you have to have this whole software package to be able to develop, and then you put the website onto the host server. But then you have those sites where the hosting packages that also offer you website tools, like Web Builder for beginners. I use a software package. Hey, Devin. I use a hosting agency called Gate. Gate is an awesome hosting package. And it allows me to create and function within my website the way I want to. If I want to do advanced level websites, I can. I did that with my foundation. If I want to use Website Builder for a more friendly website, then I can. That's what I use for Audacity. So, very, very important that you choose your host very carefully. And if you want to know more about Gate, about the Gate packages, I can share that with you because I have a referral program with them as well. So you may want to just go up there to my bio and click and maybe request for some more information, and I can share that information with you. The next, consider some other important considerations that you should make when you're looking at your website hosting is, 1, do they allow you to upgrade? Okay. You want to be able to, if you're going from a beginner level, you want to be able to upgrade to a different package. Like I have 3 levels. So I started at 1 and now I'm at the professional. They have the semi-professional, they have the beginners, and they have the semi-professional, and then they have the professional suite. I've been working with Gate for probably the last 10 years, so I'm now at the professional suite because I want all the complete functionality of the tools. Making sure that make sure they offer options for upgrade. Then you want to make sure too that they have what's called a file transfer protocol. That's for the advanced users who are able to transfer if they're using a particular desktop software package. Like I use Adobe. I also use a package called can't remember that particular software, but anyway, it's an Adobe software, PageMill. But it's kind of outdated now, so I don't really use it as much anymore. I like Website Builder. So you could use that. And that allows you to file transfer every file that you've created your website on. If you create your website using something like PageMill or what's the other one? There's a bunch of them. Then you can load those up into using file transfer protocol into the website. Another thing is look for the HTML5, making sure that they can offer HTML5 because that's how they do websites now. Also, business emails is very important because you don't want to have to go and be forced to get a generic email. You want to have a email that is consistent with your brand, your website. If that's what you're going to do, if you're branding your name, if you're branding your business, whatever it is, you want to be able to use the email that's associated with that particular business or package. So I know the one that I use is unlimited emails. I've got like 2,000 emails, but no way. It allows me to become a huge business. So the package that I have, like I said, is advanced. So it allows me to really, really grow in my space. Also, you want to make sure you have enough disk space. So these are the things that you need to consider when you're looking at your hosting sites. Hosting sites. That's who's going to hold where all of your information is going to be loaded. So be mindful of that. Also, how much bandwidth are you going to get? Like, do you get unlimited space, or are you limited to how much bandwidth you can use within your website? Okay. The next one is, next section is customers. Make sure that the customer support service for your hosting package has a 24/7 support system. Because if something goes wrong, you want to be able to contact them, especially if you have to do like damage control. So you want to make sure that you have 24/7 hosting support, okay? Check out some another way to figure out what type of site you want is to check out some of the aesthetics of other sites that are appealing to you. Don't go at it alone though. Don't go at this thing alone because you don't have to. Okay? Some people prefer to hire someone to manage it, and then other people, they simply don't even want to be bothered. Okay, so now let's talk about, we talked about the decision making for planning your site, right? The decision making for planning your site. We talked about purpose, timing, customers, hosting site, and important considerations. We talked about customer bandwidth. The next thing we want to talk about is the pieces. The pieces that go inside the web, the pieces, okay? So let's consider, what's the first thing you want, the first thing you see when a person has a website, when you call up a website? Anybody know what that's called? I just want some engagement, so I'm asking. Anybody know what that page is called? The very first page that you call up when you call up a website. Anybody out there know what that is? If you don't, just put a 1 in the room. At least engage, so I don't know whether you know or not. Yes. Thank you, Nelson. It's the home page, okay? The home page is the face of your company. Very, very important. It is the face of your company. It should be crisp. It should be clean. And it should be easy to read. Very, very important. And the one thing you want to do is welcome and let your customers know how important they are to you. Or the index page, that's correct. But we're going to call it the home page because that's what most people call it. So you want to have it crisp, clean, easy to read, and welcome. Let your customers know how important they are to you. Be sure to have clickable links to lead your visitors to other pages. Be sure to have clickable links to lead your visitors to other pages. Okay. All right. The next one is keep the wording simple. Hey, for the love of entertainment, thank you for joining. Keep your wording simple because you have different grade levels, different thinking levels, and so you want to make it very, very simple. Hello there. You want to make it very, very simple for your users to understand. So keep your wording very simple. The next tab you're going to offer on your website is your products and services. If it's not products, then it's services. But it may be both. I have both, services and products. And most companies these days do have a service and a product, okay? You want to start with a page that lists all of your products and services separately. That's why it's important to understand your hosting options. Because if you have unlimited pages, then you don't have to worry about whether you can do what I'm describing here. Whether you can perform these functions. Like start with each product should have its own page, right? Each product and each service should have its own page. List them separately and provide a link to somewhere else in the site. List them separately and provide a link to somewhere else in the site. Okay? Then you're going to have an about page. About page, that is likely to be the first place your customers are going to go. They want to see what you all about. Most people. Isn't that the first thing you want to do is you want to know, what's this person about? You know, you're going to check this person out, right? So your about page, the first place they're going to go. Tell them when you were founded, if you're a business. If you're a service professional, give them some history about yourself, about, when you graduated. All those, it could be a brief biographical sketch. Your mission, the mission of your company. What's your plan? What's your mission? Okay? What sets you apart from the rest? Right? What sets you apart from the rest? And let me give you an example of that. There's a lot of people out here that serve entrepreneurs. And if you listen to them carefully, they can define why they're different. They can define why they're different. I'm different because I'm an angel investor. The way I coach entrepreneurs is going to be from an angel investment perspective. It's going to be looking at getting you ready from the start of from the founding name of your company to the exit plan when you decide you want to sell that company. If you so desire. Because there are some people who grow big business and decide they want to start another business, but they can sell that business if they're investment ready. If they're investment ready. So, and an investment ready business is a polished business. So, hey, singlepreneur, thank you for joining. We're talking about building a website and the about page. So the next thing you want to do is, again, set yourself apart. Then you, of course, if you have staff, then you should have a meet the staff page. You should have a meet the staff section, which should be um, it should be a leader. You should have a link to meet the staff, or I call mine's meet my team. So, and all of this is going to fall under your about page. Depending on how you design it, some people will put it on one page. I put mine on several pages because I have unlimited pages. So I was pretty crafty because it allows me to, do more with my affiliate marketing. Okay. All right. So what do you include in your meet the staff? And I need to tell you about this because this is important, because people are going to manage your management staff is critical. And I'm speaking from an investment perspective because they want to know who and what your management team is like. Whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4. Generally speaking, investors do not like 2, 3, or more investors because they have very different thinking. You can have all of these people, partners in a business, and investors don't hit it off with that as well because it's too many personalities they got to deal with. They don't want to deal with all them personalities. They're gonna keep it to two and under, and that's it. They're not doing any more than that. Okay, so who are your key partners? They want to know who are your key partners. And everything I'm saying to you, I'm going to speak to you from an investment ready perspective. Give your visitors a reason to trust the staff. Give your visitors a reason why they should trust your staff. Are they certified? How long have they been there? Did they graduate from college? How long have they been skilled at their craft? Very, very important for you to do. Okay, whether it's family or not. I run a family operation. It's a social enterprise, but most of my team is family, and this because they have the skill sets to do what they're doing. They were honed because of their skill sets. Okay, so what's that team like? So if you're dealing with a family, whether it's 4 or 5 or not, that's a family business. So you're really looking at one entity with four subsidiaries under a parent company, because all of them are independent contractors. They're not my employees. They all own their own stage. So that's really important. So I set it up that way on purpose. Okay, so should they trust? Because again, investors want to know, are they trustworthy? Why should we trust them? Why? All of them want to know about trustworthiness and your ability to be coachable and all those good things. Are they real people? If they are, tell me why they're real people. Do you have photos? They don't want you to use. Another thing is, don't overdo in the makeup. They don't want a whole lot of overly done makeup. They want real people. You understand? Real people. And they also, I don't know if you've ever seen this before. Have you ever seen a website where you have the team all dressed up in all these suits and ties and everything? That's a picture that belongs on the wall in an office. They're not particularly... people, okay? All right. The next one, and it's key. The next one is key, and it's your privacy policy. Let me make sure I gave you all the pages. Yeah, I did. The next one is your privacy policy. Privacy policy is very, very important because your customers, when they come to your website, they're going to want to know what you're going to do with the information that they give you. What are you going to do? How do you disclose the way you use information and manage a client's data? Okay. Now you can go all out, extensive on how you're going to handle it, or you can keep it very simple and use a very brief statement similar to this. Your privacy is important to us. Any information collected on this site will not be sold or shared with third parties. Just that simple. Will not be sold or shared with third parties. Now, if you want to create one, you can do that. And there's a site that was given called Ayubenda. IUBENDA.com /EN. If there are any hustlers in the room, Could you please type that in the chat for me? iubenda.com/en. That's the website. And they can create one for you, and you can get a widget and insert the widget into the website. It's of course going to have their information, but that's okay. It's a free site, but they have option for paid services as well. The other section is going to be your facts section. That's your frequently asked questions. Now, why is this section important? Because if you find that there's questions that are asked over and over and over again, it's a frequently asked question, and this should be under your frequently asked questions and answered by you, so that you can explain to your customers the protocol, the this, the that, and the other. Okay? That will keep them from asking all of the questions they can go right to the website and find. Okay? Remember though, keep it simple so that they can understand the wording. The next one is your sitemap. Make sure that you connect your sitemap. I know at one time I didn't connect mine because I could never see it. It was kind of distorting things. But it's very important to have. Pardon me, it's a late night. But a sitemap is good to have. And then you want to your sitemap lists every live site that you have, every live page that you have, and so people are able to navigate through your site very well. Okay, so now we're getting to customers. How do you get your customers? That's your web pages. That's some standard pages that you should have. Yes, standard pages that you should have, and that is your products and services, about page, meet the staff, privacy policy, frequently asked questions, and your sitemap. Okay? Now, how are you going to get some customers? Because this is important. I want to be very detailed with you because I feel like, this is a good topic. It's a good topic, and a lot of people have these questions, and this is standard, but it's a good standard methodology. Okay? Now, next was getting your customers. How do you get business follows? How do you get them to follow you? How do you attract and engage your customers? Because your job is to get the customers to your website. Don't send them away from your hub. Don't send them to Facebook. Don't send them to, this and that. You send them to your hub. You want to be able to set your website up so that it creates a passive engagement with your customers. And it creates opportunities for you to gather information, which is what you want to do so that you can begin to engage with your customers offline, away from the website. So then, okay, so it's very, very important how you do that, because if you think about it for a minute, let's say, for example, how you do that. Well, think about it. Your Google search. When you go and search Google for something, if it's falling at the bottom of the page, there's something you're not doing right. It's something you're not doing right, and it's likely to be content. Because you should be listed, first of all, on the first page. And you should be listed on the entire page if you truly have a digital stamp. You should be listed on the entire page because you have so many pages or so much content that there's content everywhere that can link to your website. So when you do a Google search on somebody, say for example, do a Google search on Audacity, my company, Audacity Group Social Enterprise. Then do a Google search on my name, Eve Angel Savage. Then do a Google search on Dr. Eve Angel Savage. And you're guaranteed you're going to find a whole page of stuff on the first page when you do that search. Okay? All right. So The next thing you want to do, you want to have viewable content. And that's part of what's going to be on those pages. If you do it properly, you're going to have the content's going to be viewable on the first page. You also want to have your blog content. Because blog content shows on the first page too every time you blog. And you use those keywords along with the descriptive words that describe your site. Those are gonna also be found on the first, second, third, fourth page. You might just have so much content that you're everywhere, right? Then you want to also have industry related content on your website. You want to have viewable content on your website. You want to have blog content on your website, and you want to have industry related content on your website. These are the things that get you found on Google. Viewable content, blog content, and industry related content. Okay? Okay. Then the next section is, how do you turn your viewers into readers? How do you turn them into readers? I thank you guys for hanging out with me. Thank you for being patient as well. So some other things that you could add to your website or to you guys must be writing because I don't see any hearts. Turn your viewers into readers. Other things you can do is to add, I have industry specific glossary on my site, and it's Angel Investment Readiness glossary. So I can do my word of the day, and I teach people the language of investment readiness so that they understand more about what I'm talking about, so that I don't have to use language that's not used by angels or venture capitalists or bank loans. I have to be specific. I have to tailor it to the industry. Okay, so then you have to have okay, so say you have a product that needs care. Say, for example, a pair of boots, leather boots, or some suede shoes. They take a specific type of care, or jewelry. You feel where I'm going with that? Then those things need you need to have some proper care guidance, some proper care techniques on your site as well for the particular product. Okay? Maintenance, or for service professionals, it would be recommendations for upkeep. Okay? Another thing that would be good to be on your site that would attract customers is an app. Applications are always good. You could use a mobile app. People design those, or like, for example, on my site, I'm going to be getting a investment readiness tool calculator, so that when people come to the site, they can plug in information that lets me know where they fall, how they benchmark, what benchmarks, where are they, to measure whether they are actually ready based on a set of questions that have been asked. The next thing is podcasts. Podcasts are really good to have, and you can have those by just simply having a radio show where you have the access to the MP3s. Those are podcasts. And you can load those to your website. And in some cases, depending on what software you're using, like I use Blog Talk Radio, and I have a podcast within my package. So within my hosting package. So I can record information on MP3 and then load it up to my podcast in my site and make it easily downloadable for my listeners to view on my site. Another one is videos. Like I have a lot of videos on YouTube. A lot of videos. I've been doing videos for quite some time. And I do them to have an archive of things where people can come and get information and learn. So, but a lot of them are going to be, now I'm going to load up into a page where I have videos, and it's going to be in a member site, more or less, in a member site, because It should be specifically targeting a particular population. So I'm going to give that to those who subscribe to the service. Another one is news feeds. News feeds. You could always get news feeds, even in your blog. You can get like an embeddable code from a news feed that you like, from a news channel, from a worldwide channel. You can search and find these things. Business news, you can get one on PC News. Whatever industry you're in, just do a Google search on news feeds and see what's available for your particular industry. The next thing you want to have on your website is a history. History is so important because it lets your customers know about where'd you start, what led you to do what you are doing now. What led you to do what you are doing now? Okay? The next section is selling and linking products. How do you sell and link products? How do you sell and link products? Well, the first thing you want to have is a shopping cart. In my package, I have a shopping cart that comes with my package because it's a professional package. So if you don't have your own payment method though, like a shopping cart where you can actually insert the payment methods from your web package, then you can set up something in PayPal. I have both. PayPal is easy for me to use. It's easier for me to use because I can invoice, and I like being able to track my invoices. So that's a really good one. If you don't sell products, you could become an affiliate as well. So hello. We're talking about website creation and the content that you should consider for your website. And let me reset for anybody who... My name is Dr. Eve Angel Savage. I am your social enterprise strategist and angel investment coach, and I teach people to identify, initiate, and implement strategies of distinction for investment readiness in business, whether they want to be investment ready or not. An investment ready business is a polished business. Okay, so the next thing we're doing is blogging. Why is blogging important to your website? Why is blogging important? Blogging provides quality content. You can post your customer service issues. You can post customer testimonials. You can answer comments to questions. But be transparent. And you can get personal. It's okay. It's your face. It's your business, and you can be personal. Sometimes, like even when I do my national days, like I'll post about national days, and I will find some sort of association to my life so that it can feel personal, or some time in life where I could relate, that the material is relatable. So that's very, very important. Some of the blog tools that you can use are Blogspot, WordPress, Tumblr. I have a blog within my website. So the convenience of having your own package is enormous, but you pay for it. I mean, it's something that you have to pay for. But it's well worth it because I don't have to pay any additional costs for email. I don't have to pay any additional costs for a newsletter package. I don't have to pay any additional costs for email marketing. I don't have to pay any additional costs for podcasting. I don't have to pay any additional information for Get Fit Virtually. I don't have to pay any additional monies for anything, because everything is included in my web package. Now I'm just going to do a quick recap because you're going to have to go back and catch the replay. Because I've just got through sharing how you can set up a passive engagement website. So I'm just going to recap, for those of you who are just joining and those of you who have been here with me, we covered why a business website is important, whether you are brick and mortar or not, or whether you're even branding yourself as a service professional. Still very important to have. It's the face of your business. Planning for your site. We talked about the purpose, why that's important. We talked about your timing, whether you have time to manage it will determine what type of site you have. That means whether you want a self-working site or do you want to promote something. We talked about customers and the importance of understanding your demographics, honing in on the larger demographics and honing down on your core demographics. We talked about hosting sites, how to choose a hosting site. We talked about the beginners. We talked about the intermediate, and we talked about the advanced level hosting sites. We also talked about important considerations when you want to select a hosting site. Things like does it upgrade? Can you upgrade? Does it enable file transfer protocol? Is it HTML5 ready? Do you have business emails? What's the disk space like? And what is the bandwidth? Next, we talked about, we're covering everything. Customers, the type of customers you should have, customer service. You should always select a site that's 24/7 support, technical support, because you may have a disaster and you need to fix it. Good sites, you don't want to keep them down. My site has never been down. Never. In all of 10 years, it has never been down. To God be the glory. Check out some aesthetics that are appealing. Don't go at it alone. Check on your bandwidth. The pieces we talked about, the pieces of your website. The home page, which is the face of your business, should be crisp, clean, easy to read, and it should be welcoming. You should you should let your customer know why they're important to you, and they should feel that in all of 30 seconds. Be sure to have clickable links to lead your visitors to other pages. Okay? Next, we talked about keep your wording simple. Keep your wording very simple because you got different reading levels. So you want them to be able to understand what you're saying. Also, hey, key lockup, products and services. Your products and services page, you start with a page that lists them separately, we said. Hello. Good to see you. Thank you for joining. You also want to have an about page with a founder, mission, what sets you apart, and meeting your staff or your team, however you want to say that. We also talked about when you meet the staff, how important it is to list your key partners. Give your visitors a reason to trust your staff. The only way you can do that is to have real people with photos. Don't use overly made up photos. And please stay away from those group shots with people with all those suits on it that belongs on the wall in your office. Okay? All right, the next one we talked about was your privacy policy. And I gave a little script on that. You can either get a long drawn out one on your privacy policy, or you can keep it real simple and just get your privacy is important to us. Any information collected on this site will not be sold or shared with third parties because your customers want to know that. A fact page, that's your frequently asked questions. If you have questions that they are frequently asking, you need to answer them on the website. So it will cut down on your emails. It will cut down on your phone calls. Have a sitemap. Sitemap that lists every live page on your website. In the next section, we talked about getting customers. How to attract and engage your customers. Because it's your job to do that. Because they're going to do a Google search. And there's some fundamental ways to attract and engage your customers. It's through content. And that content is searchable on Google. All of your content integrates into the search engines. So very, very important for you to consider the type of content that you have on your page. You want to have viewable content. That means videos, audios. You want to have blogs. And you want to have industry-related content. If you don't have any industry-related content, you should, okay? I am an angel investor. So I'm going to put angel investment content somewhere on my site. because I want the people who walk away from my business or my service to be ready for business as an angel for an angel. I want them to be ready for venture capitalists. I want them to be ready and able to go to get a business loan. I want them to be able to do those things. All right, even if they're not ready, even if they don't want an angel investor, I want them to be in position to do so, because that means that their business is polished, okay? All right, the next section is turn viewers into readers, and how are you going to do that? Some things you can add to your website. Glossary. Now, remember what I said, turn viewers into readers. Viewers into readers, because we already know most people don't like to read. Because they're visual, they want to see it, they want to get it quick, they want to get it just like that. How add an industry specific glossary of terms. I've added one. I've added one on angel investment readiness, so that I can't answer you right now. Investment readiness, so that they describe the terms. I needed to describe the terms. I needed to describe the terms. I needed to describe the terms to the readers. Industry specific information. Product care. I needed to get, if you want product care, you need to tell them about the product care, like maintenance. Like, say if you're selling a pair of boots or you're selling a pocketbook, then you want to be able to make sure you give them how to care for the product. The other thing is an app, smartphone app, maybe an app about your business, or an app that calculates something. And for example, Get Fit Virtually, you could add something that calculates calories or calculates anything like that has anything to do with fitness. I'm having one to determine where a person is in business, to determine whether they are actually ready for investment. Podcast is another one. Host a show, post a link, okay? So podcasts are really good. That's where you interview somebody, or you you've been interviewed, or you have some type of MP3 that you can share information within your website. Don't send them to another link. You want them to come to your hub. So post podcasts within your site. Another thing is your videos. Have a page, post your videos within your content videos within your site. If you have a member site, interviews, video, and audio, yes. Also, you want to have videos that you can put up. Say, for example, you can get testimonials, video testimonials of someone who has done business with you. If your clients are satisfied with you, ask them to give you a short video. That's the MF4 that you can get and post to your website. Okay, and the other thing was news feeds. You could download a news feed that's related to. I'll be done in a minute. That's related to your business. A news feed that's related to your business, and put that on your website. For example, you could do PC World. You could do Newsstream, a news stream that's important to your industry. The other thing is history. Have a history tab for your website. We're almost finished covering this information. One more page. The next section is going to be selling and linking products. How do you sell and link your products? Shopping cart. Try and make sure your shopping cart comes with your hosting package. If it doesn't, then you could do something like PayPal. If you don't sell products, you could become an affiliate. So if you become an affiliate, then you still need a PayPal. Oh no, you could. Yeah, you'll get paid through the affiliate program. All right, then two more things, that's blogging. In blogging, you should have a blog. If you don't have a blog, get one, please. And then I'm going to give you some tools, some way you can get one, You should have quality content on that site. It's the face of you. It's also your face. Quality content. You can post customer service issues. You can post customer testimonials. You can answer comments. Make sure you're answering the comments on your blog. You also want to be transparent as you can, and be yourself. Most of all, be yourself. Be personal. So make sure that you're blogging, your conversation in your blog is personal. That speaks to your reader. So you can get your reader to reading and to commenting. some of the tools that you can use if you don't have blogs associated with your package. You can use Blogspot. Or if you have WordPress, that's really easy to use with WordPress. Tumblr and Tumblr. And that's going to end my session on websites. I hope this added value to you tonight. This is Dr. Eve Angel Savage over at Audacity Group Social Enterprise. I am your social enterprise strategist and angel investment coach. I teach individuals to identify, initiate, and implement, most of all, strategies of distinction for investment readiness in business. And that ends our conversation together. Are there any questions that you may have at this time? You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for the beautiful hearts. And I'll be back tomorrow with some more rich content. So if you're not following me, hey Sharon Nicole, thank you for joining. You'll have to catch the replay because I just wrapped it up and reviewed. So be sure and catch the replay. Some really good information on website. Membership page is really important too. That's an additional page outside of your website where you can build. And I can share that information with you as well. I may go through and do a video on that. Any other questions about the website? I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Any other questions? Thank you all, and good night.